everyone. Once again we are here with the chapter Coordinate Geometry, the third chapter. So what we are going to discuss in this chapter, this is the definition of a Cartesian plane and the x-axis, the y-axis, the origin, an ordered pair which we known as coordinates, and the coordinates, quadrants, the ordinates and the abscissa. And after all of this we will able to plot a point in the plane, that is a Cartesian plane, or we can say the graph paper. So here we have the name of the scientist René Descartes. He was a great French mathematician. Actually, one day when he was resting in bed, he solved the problem of describing the position of a point in a plane. His method was a development of the older idea of latitude and longitude. In honor of Descartes, the system used for describing the position of a point in a plane is also known as a Cartesian plane. So according to him, a Cartesian plane is a plane consisting of a set of two lines intersecting each other at right angles. So here we have this graph. So here is the horizontal axis, and this is the vertical axis. This horizontal axis, which we are going to denote with x dash, is known as x-axis, and the vertical line, which we are going to denote with y, and y dash, is known as y-axis. And where these two, x-axis and y-axis, the horizontal and vertical line intersect each other, that point is known as origin. So according to this, the horizontal line x dash is equals to x-axis, and the vertical line y dash is known as y-axis, and the point of intersection of x-axis and y-axis is known as origin. Now, how can we denote? How can we find a position of a point on a Cartesian plane? Is the distance along the x-axis and the y-axis. So here is, suppose this is a point, and suppose this point is A. We are going to denote it by A. And here is, we are going to put perpendiculars from this point on x-axis and on y-axis. Suppose this point is B and this point is C. This point is AB, this side is AB, and this side is AC. So this is the perpendicular AB on x-axis and AC on y-axis. So here we are having the position of a point on the Cartesian plane is the distance along the x-axis and the y-axis. This is the distance on x-axis and this is the distance on y-axis. Now, abscissa, the horizontal distance on x-axis. The horizontal distance on x-axis. This is the horizontal distance on x-axis is known as, this first point is known as abscissa. This is abscissa. And, or we can say the value of the coordinate on x-axis. Here is the coordinate, the value of coordinate on the y-axis. This is the y-axis and this is the value on the coordinate. Value on y-axis is known as, this point is known as ordinate. Now both points together, this point x and y, both points together are known as coordinates. So these are the coordinates x and y. If we are having here 0, 0 at this point, what point we are having? 0, 0. The coordinate of origin are 0, 0. And the coordinate of this point, suppose this point we are taking here, this is x and 0. And the coordinate of this point are 0 and y. This point is 0. So 0, here is on x-axis we are going, the distance here on x-axis is x and the distances of y is 0. And here is the distance on y-axis is y, but the distance of x is 0. So this is 0 and y, this is x and 0. Now we have quadrants. The quadrants are the four parts of a plane created when the plane is divided by vertical, that is a y-axis, and horizontal, that is x-axis lines. So vertical lines and the horizontal line. So here is, we are having, suppose this is a plane, and we are drawing here the horizontal axis and the vertical axis, the x-axis and y-axis. So we are having here, this is the first quadrant, this one is the second quadrant, and here is the third one, and this is the fourth one. Fourth quadrant are here. Four quadrants, because the plane is divided into four parts because of this x-axis and y-axis. That's why we have four parts. These four parts are known as quadrant, and we have to start with this one only. This part, that is the x o y. This part is known as first quadrant, and opposite to this, that is x dash. This is x dash, o, and y is known as second quadrant, and here is x o y dash is known as third quadrant, and y dash, o, and x is known as a fourth quadrant. So this is the order. This is the anti-clockwise, first, second, third, and fourth. Because now in this first quadrant, all values will be positive. If we mark here, you just consider this just like the number line. This is the origin. Right side to this all are positive, and left side to this all are negative. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And above this, this is positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And below this there is negative -1, -2, -3, -4, like this. So here in this quadrant we are having, suppose this point we are having here, this point we are having. If we draw the perpendicular from here, if we draw perpendiculars, suppose this is the perpendicular here, and this one is the perpendicular here. So this distance we are getting here 6. So this is 6, and this distance we are getting here 3. So this is 3. 6 and 3 both are positive. So in first quadrant, x and y both are positive. In second quadrant, suppose we are finding the point value of this one. So again we have to draw the perpendiculars. One is here and one is this side, like this. So we are having here the point is -3, and this point we are having here 2. So this is -3 and 2. 2 is positive, 3 is negative. So in second quadrant we have x negative and y as positive. Now we have to come to the third quadrant. In third quadrant, suppose we are having this point. Again we have to draw the perpendiculars on x-axis and on y-axis. So this point x -2, here is -3. Both are negative. So x negative, y also negative. Now the last quadrant is there. In this quadrant, suppose we are having this point. At this point we are having here 3, and here we are having -2. So this point is 3 and this is -2. So x negative, x positive, y negative. So here will be plus and minus. So in first quadrant we can see all are positive, x, y both are positive. In second quadrant, x negative, y positive, and in third quadrant both are negative, x negative, y negative. In fourth quadrant, x positive but y is negative. So like this we can see the sign. Now quadrant is there. All are the four parts of the plane created when the plane is divided by the x-axis and the y-axis. Now we have here one thing. Suppose we are getting here when we are getting, suppose this point is there. So at this point on y-axis, what will have x is 0. This is 1. Here is 0. This is 2. Here is 0. This is 3. Here is 0. This is 4. Here is 0. This is 5. X is 0 here. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. X is 0 every time. So what is the equation of the y-axis? Equation of the y-axis is equals to x is equals to 0. So this is equation of the y-axis, x is equals to 0. Now suppose we are having here, suppose we are drawing here one line like this. So at this point, this is parallel to y-axis. Equation, we are finding equation of the line parallel to the y-axis. So here is, what is the distance? 2. So what is here? X is equals to 2. Then suppose the next one is there 3. So here we are having x is equals to 3. Suppose next we are having here, this is 3, 4 and 5. So here what we are having? X is equals to 5. So every time we are changing the value of x. So we can say that the equation of the line parallel to y-axis, x is equals to k. K is any constant. Just like here we are getting 2, 3, 5 and so on. Any constant. The equation of the y-axis, x is equals to 0. And equation of the line parallel to y-axis, x is equals to k. Similarly, we can find the equation of the axis, x-axis. So if we are having here on x-axis, suppose this point we can take, this is minus 1 and 0, minus 2 and 0, minus 3 and 0. So we can take any value. So here the equation of the x-axis, y is equals to 0. Equation of the line parallel to x-axis, y is equals to k. So what will be the general formula of a line? Here we have equation of the y-axis. We can write this x plus, this is equation of the y-axis, x plus, y is not here. So we are having 0 into y is equals to 0. Equation of the line parallel to y-axis, this is x is equals to k. So we can write x plus 0 into y is equals to k. Similarly of the x-axis, equation of the x-axis, here is y is equals to 0 but x is not here. So we can write 0 into x plus y is equals to 0. Equation of the line parallel to x-axis, 0 into x plus y is equals to k. So general form of the equation, what we are having here, ax plus by is equals to c, where a, b and c are real numbers. A and b should not be equals to 0. This is the general form of the line. Now we can draw the graph of this on the Cartesian plane like this. So because of this, you can find the value of any point, the position of any point, the coordinates, and one more important thing that is here, we are always getting x as the first place and y as the second place. So this is also known as ordered pair. This order will never be changed. So this is known as ordered pair. So x and y, abscissa and ordinate. Now we are able to do the exercise, that is 3.2 and 3.3. Thank you so much.